Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. What if I told you that the secret to living a more fulfilling life is to stop squandering your energy on external distractions and focus solely on yourself? Too often, we get pulled into other people's drama, leaving us drained from our goals. By returning to the fundamentals of Stoicism, you'll learn to cultivate self-mastery, discipline, and inner resilience, keys to building the life you want. We'll explore how ignoring irrelevant noise helps you preserve your mental bandwidth for what truly matters. Through practical tips and real-life anecdotes, you'll discover new ways to guard your time, fortify your boundaries, and invest in your own success. Whether you're stuck in a negative cycle or simply craving more in life, these principles will guide you toward a more purposeful and focused existence. Stick around until the very end for impactful strategies you can put into action right away. Reclaim your time, energy, and sense of self. You deserve it. Clarify personal goals and vision. To clarify your personal goals and vision, you need to dig deep within yourself. This isn't just about dreaming big or wishing for success, it's about taking the time to sit down and truly understand what you want from life. The Stoics knew the importance of clarity. They believed that only by understanding our true purpose could we find peace and fulfillment. Without clarity, you're drifting, without direction. You must take control of the wheel and steer your life with intent. You've probably heard it said that a man who does not know his purpose is like a ship without a rudder. This idea is echoed in Stoic thought. If you wish to be rich, do not add to your money, but subtract from your desire. The first step in focusing on yourself is identifying what it is that you truly desire. And it's not about looking outward for the answers. It's about introspection, about sitting with yourself and asking the tough questions. What do I want? What drives me? What makes me feel alive? Now, this process isn't as simple as making a list of things you want to achieve. It's more profound than that. Stoicism teaches us to look beyond superficial desires and focus on what aligns with our core values. Your goals should resonate with your soul, not just your fleeting whims. These aren't goals shaped by the expectations of others or by what's trendy. These are personal. These are yours. Start by reflecting on what brings you fulfillment and what drains you. Pay attention to how you feel after certain activities or interactions. Do you feel energized, focused, and calm? Or do you feel drained, overwhelmed, and distracted? This simple awareness can guide you toward a vision that's aligned with your true self. Once you've identified what nourishes you, you can begin to set goals that will lead you toward that nourishment. Now, let's talk about the importance of making these goals specific. The Stoics were not vague in their approach to life. Marcus Aurelius didn't sit around wondering if he'd become a good emperor someday. He lived each day intentionally, working towards specific virtues like wisdom, courage, and justice. Your goals should be just as specific. Instead of saying, "I want to be successful," ask yourself, what does success look like for me? What do I need to do to embody that success today? Break down your vision into actionable steps. The more specific you can get, the more clarity you'll gain. Next, reflect on your values. Your personal vision should align with what's truly important to you, not what society tells you to value. Take a moment to define your personal philosophy, your core beliefs. These beliefs will guide your decisions and keep you on track, even when distractions or setbacks try to pull you off course. You're crafting your own guiding light. A great exercise to get this process started is to write down your vision. Visualize where you want to be in the next few years. What does your life look like? Who are you with? What are you doing? And most importantly, how do you feel? Take your time with this exercise, and allow your vision to come from a place of authenticity. Don't worry about what anyone else might think. This is your life. You're the author. Once you've written down your vision, it's time to take action. Stoicism teaches us that thoughts and intentions mean little without action. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, Marcus Aurelius said. And your actions flow from your thoughts. It's not enough to just have a clear vision, you need to break it down into small, daily actions that move you toward that vision. Start with just one thing today that aligns with your goals. If you want to improve your health, don't wait until tomorrow. Do one thing today that supports that goal, even if it's as small as drinking a glass of water or taking a short walk. Another important part of clarifying your goals and vision is understanding the role of discipline. Discipline is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to go. The Stoics knew that without discipline, desires become fleeting and unfulfilling. The key is consistency. Even on days when you don't feel like moving toward your goals, remember that each small action compounds over time. Even when progress seems slow, stay focused. As you move forward, don't forget the Stoic mindset of accepting what is beyond your control. Sometimes, things won't go according to plan. External factors might throw you off course. But your goals are in your hands. It's your vision. No one can take that away from you unless you let them. Finally, remember this, clarity isn't something you achieve once and then forget. It's an ongoing practice. As you grow, your goals and vision may evolve. Embrace that evolution. Adapt as needed, but never lose sight of what matters most to you. Take time regularly to check in with yourself, recalibrate, and adjust. But always stay aligned with your values and your purpose. With clarity of vision, your journey will be intentional. And with that clarity, your focus on yourself will become unstoppable. Keep moving forward. Reduce external distractions. When you're trying to focus solely on yourself and stop wasting your time, one of the most powerful things you can do is reduce external distractions. It's not just about turning off your phone notifications or putting your devices on silent. It's about consciously reclaiming your attention and creating an environment that allows you to truly be present with yourself, your thoughts, and your purpose. Stoicism teaches us that external events don't control us, our reactions to them do. As Epictetus wisely said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. The distractions of the world are often just a collection of desires and impulses, pulling your focus away from what truly matters. The constant barrage of noise, whether it's social media, the latest news, or other people's opinions, can drown out your inner voice and drown your ability to think clearly. But remember, you don't have to respond to every distraction. Start by asking yourself, what is really calling for your attention? Is it something that aligns with your goals, your values, or your purpose? Or is it something that is simply vying for your attention because it's loud, flashy, or demanding? By constantly being pulled in different directions, you're squandering your energy, your creativity, and your time. And, let's face it, your time is your most precious resource. Now, I'm not saying you should completely shut yourself off from the world. Life happens, and there are things that deserve your attention. But by learning to recognize what matters and what doesn't, you can start taking control over the distractions that surround you. 1. Silence the unnecessary noise. The first step is to create space for clarity. The more you surround yourself with noise, whether it's the constant ping of your phone, the endless scroll of social media, or even the chatter of people around you, the harder it becomes to hear your own thoughts. Imagine how much more productive you'd be if you just stopped checking your phone every 5 minutes. You don't need to react to every message, every notification, or every call. By training yourself to avoid these knee-jerk reactions, you regain control of your focus and can direct your energy towards what truly matters. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. So, think about it. If your thoughts are constantly disrupted, how can you maintain the quality of your thinking? 2. Declutter your environment. Your surroundings matter more than you realize. A cluttered space often leads to a cluttered mind. Look around you. Is your environment conducive to focus, peace, and productivity? Or is it filled with distractions that make it harder for you to stay grounded? A simple way to reduce external distractions is by minimizing what's around you. Keep only what's essential to your work or your goals in sight. Anything else, whether it's old projects, random gadgets, or papers you don't need, gets in the way of your ability to concentrate. When you create a space that is calm and uncluttered, you'll notice that your thoughts become clearer. A tidy environment helps promote mental clarity, making it easier to direct your focus inward, where it belongs. 3. Set boundaries with people. This might be the hardest part for some people, but it's essential. You need to establish boundaries with others to protect your time and energy. This doesn't mean being rude or distant, but rather having the discipline to say no when people ask for your attention in ways that don't serve your higher purpose. The Stoics believed in mastering your own actions, and a big part of that is protecting your time from being hijacked by other people's demands. When someone interrupts your focus, kindly but firmly let them know that you need to focus on your work or your personal growth. Set clear boundaries on when you're available and when you're not. You're not being selfish, you're simply respecting your own time, which is one of the most important acts of self-love you can practice. 4. Be intentional about what you consume. Take a moment to think about what you're feeding your mind. Every piece of media you consume, every conversation you have, every piece of information you let into your life influences your mindset and energy. The world is filled with endless content, and it's all too easy to fall into the trap of mindlessly consuming whatever catches your eye. But to focus on yourself and stop wasting time, you need to be selective about what you allow into your mind. Ask yourself, does this add value to my life? Does this help me grow or take me closer to my goals? Or is it just a distraction, pulling me away from my true purpose? If something doesn't serve you, don't give it your energy. Choose to consume content that aligns with your values and aspirations. This could mean unfollowing accounts that make you feel bad about yourself or disengaging from conversations that drain you. By doing this, you'll begin to fill your mind with positive, meaningful thoughts instead of external noise. 5. Practice mindfulness. Finally, one of the best ways to reduce external distractions is through mindfulness. When you train yourself to be more present in the moment, you stop reacting to everything around you and start responding with intention. Mindfulness is all about tuning into what's happening right now, without letting your mind wander to the past or future. It helps you be more aware of where your attention is going and whether it's serving you. One way to practice mindfulness is through simple breathing exercises. Spend a few minutes each day focusing on your breath, inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly. This helps calm the mind and create space for inner clarity. Over time, you'll become more aware of when distractions arise, and you'll have the mental strength to let them go. By reducing external distractions, you're not just getting rid of the noise. You're reclaiming your ability to focus, to think deeply, and to direct your energy where it counts. As Seneca said, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Don't let your time slip away. Take control. Focus on yourself. Stop wasting your time. Cultivate self-reliance and independence. When it comes to truly mastering your life, there's no shortcut, no magic pill. It all boils down to cultivating self-reliance and independence. This is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, a philosophy that believes your strength lies in your own hands, not in the circumstances around you. It's about taking full responsibility for yourself and your actions. And if you're looking to level up your life, this is where the real transformation begins. First things first, understand this. You are the captain of your own ship. No one else is responsible for steering you through life, and no one else can dictate your happiness or success. The Stoics were clear on this. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, reminded us that, Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. In other words, the more you rely on external things or people to dictate how you feel or what you do, the more you give away your power. You end up becoming a passenger in your own life. To truly stand firm, you must learn to rely on yourself. But, here's the thing. It's not going to happen overnight. You've been conditioned to look outward for solutions, for approval, for validation. It's easy to fall into that trap. It's easy to ask others what you should do or how you should feel. But ask yourself, what happens when you constantly seek answers from others? You become dependent. You become passive. You let the winds of others' opinions dictate the course of your life. And that's a fast track to frustration, confusion, and lack of fulfillment. So, here's the challenge: stop giving away your power. You don't need approval. You don't need permission. You need to learn to rely on yourself, your own judgments, and your own actions. Self-reliance is about owning your life, your choices, and your future. It's about standing firm in your own beliefs, regardless of how the world around you behaves. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Now, let's make this practical. How do you build this self-reliance and independence in a world full of distractions and noise? 1. Own your actions. Start by taking full responsibility for everything you do. Every decision, every action, every outcome, whether good or bad, belongs to you. Stop blaming circumstances, other people, or the universe. Even when things go wrong, understand that you still control how you react. You are not a victim, you are a creator of your own life. Exercise. At the end of each day, reflect on your actions. What did you do today that moved you closer to your goals? What could you have done better? Take responsibility for your actions without judgment. Acknowledge mistakes, but don't dwell on them. Learn, adjust, and move forward. 2. Build mental toughness. Self-reliance is rooted in mental strength. You need to train your mind to stay focused on what you can control and let go of the rest. Your thoughts shape your reality, and if you allow negativity, doubt, or fear to take over, you become weak. The Stoics believed in cultivating a calm and controlled mind. They practiced constant mindfulness, reminding themselves that external events are not as important as how they respond to them. Exercise. Practice mindfulness daily. When you feel stress, anxiety, or fear creeping in, pause. Take a deep breath and focus on the present moment. Remind yourself that nothing outside of you has the power to control your inner peace. You control your response, and that response is what defines you. 3. Develop self-sufficiency. Self-reliance doesn't just mean owning your actions, it also means developing the skills and resources you need to meet your own needs. The Stoics valued independence, not just emotionally, but practically, too. They knew that relying on others for everything makes you weak and vulnerable. The more self-sufficient you are, the more control you have over your life. Exercise. Identify one area in your life where you are overly dependent on someone or something. It could be a person, a service, or a habit that takes away your autonomy. Start taking steps to wean yourself off that dependency. Whether it's learning a new skill, taking on a new responsibility, or simply learning to trust your own judgment, work toward becoming less reliant on external factors. 4. Take action, not excuses. Independence requires action. A lot of people talk about wanting to change their lives, but they never take meaningful action. They wait for the perfect moment or perfect plan. Stoicism teaches us that waiting is a trap. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. To build independence, you must act. You must take consistent, disciplined steps toward your goals, no matter how small they seem. Exercise. Set a small, actionable goal for the day that brings you closer to your larger vision. No matter how insignificant it might seem, take that step. Action breeds confidence, and confidence builds self-reliance. 5. Trust yourself. Finally, trust yourself. You have the power within you to figure things out, even when things seem uncertain. Trust your instincts, your wisdom, and your ability to adapt. Life isn't about getting everything right, it's about learning and growing. The Stoics didn't expect perfection, but they did expect progress. Exercise. Whenever doubt creeps in, ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen if I trust myself in this moment? Start small, but consistently trust your own judgment. The more you do, the stronger you'll become. The road to self-reliance isn't always smooth, but it is the most rewarding journey you can take. It's about owning your decisions, your mindset, and your actions. As you move forward, remember Marcus Aurelius' words, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Whatever obstacles you face on your path to independence, use them to strengthen your resolve and keep moving forward. The more you rely on yourself, the more freedom you'll create in your life. So, start now. Take that first step toward true independence. The power is within you. Practice consistent self-reflection. If there's one habit that will radically change your life, it's this: consistent self-reflection. It's the practice of regularly pausing, looking inward, and asking yourself hard questions about who you are, what you're doing, and where you're heading. The Stoics understood this concept deeply, and they used it to sharpen their minds and guide their actions with intention. You can do the same, but you have to make it a regular habit, not something you only do when things go wrong. Let's start with why self-reflection is so crucial. It's simple. Without it, you're just reacting to life. You're going through the motions, distracted by whatever's in front of you at the moment. But true growth comes from being able to step back and ask yourself, is this the path I want to be on? Am I living in alignment with my values? What can I improve on today? Without this inner check-in, you risk being swept away by external forces instead of steering your own ship. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, practiced daily self-reflection. In his meditations, he wrote, "The unexamined life is not worth living." It's powerful, isn't it? It's not just a nice quote, it's a call to action. You have to examine your life regularly, to understand where you are, where you want to go, and how you're showing up each day. If you don't reflect, how will you ever know if you're on the right track? Now, self-reflection isn't about being overly critical or beating yourself up for your mistakes. It's about being honest with yourself, about looking at your actions, your habits, and your choices with a calm, objective eye. Think of it as taking a step back and zooming out on your life. You're not judging yourself, you're simply observing. You're becoming the witness of your own story. And when you do this, you can start to notice patterns, both good and bad, that you might otherwise miss. One of the most important things to remember when practicing self-reflection is consistency. This isn't a one-time exercise you can do and forget about. It's something you must commit to doing regularly. Marcus Aurelius didn't just reflect on his life once in a while, he did it daily. And you should too. Even if it's just for 10 minutes at the end of each day, carve out time to sit with yourself and ask, how did I do today? Did I live in line with my values? What could I have done better? These simple questions can open doors to profound insights. But here's the thing, self-reflection doesn't have to be some grand, elaborate practice. It doesn't require hours of journaling or intense meditation sessions, unless you want it to. It can be as simple as pausing in the middle of your day to check in with yourself. Maybe it's before you go to bed, or during a quiet moment in the morning. The key is to do it consistently, to make it a natural part of your routine. Just like brushing your teeth, reflecting on your day should be a non-negotiable. One of the best ways to engage in self-reflection is through journaling. The Stoics were masters of journaling, and it's a powerful tool for self-discovery. You don't need to write a long essay every time. Just start with a few honest questions. What went well today? Where did I fall short? What can I improve? What did I learn today? Write it all down, and let your thoughts flow freely. It's a space to be completely honest with yourself, without fear of judgment. You'll be amazed at what comes up once you start putting your thoughts on paper. If journaling isn't your thing, try verbal reflection. Take a few moments to speak aloud to yourself. Ask yourself questions like, what did I learn today? Did I act in a way that aligns with my vision? Did I stay focused on my personal goals? Hearing your thoughts out loud can often help you process them in a different way and can create a deeper understanding of yourself. It's also important to remember that self-reflection isn't just about looking at your mistakes, it's about recognizing your strengths, too. The Stoics didn't believe in ignoring your achievements, they just didn't get caught up in them. Self-reflection should be a balanced process. Look at what you did well, celebrate those small victories, and let them fuel your next steps. This kind of balance is essential for growth. It helps you stay grounded without getting complacent. But let's be honest, self-reflection can be uncomfortable. It requires you to be vulnerable, to face your flaws and shortcomings head-on. But that discomfort is exactly where growth happens. If you're only comfortable, you're probably not improving. Real transformation requires you to step out of your comfort zone and challenge yourself. And the only way to do that is by consistently checking in with yourself. So, let's put this into action. Start by committing to 5 minutes of self-reflection every day. In the morning or before bed, whatever works for you. Ask yourself a few key questions. What are my priorities today? How did I spend my energy today? Was I true to my vision? Write it down, speak it aloud, or just think about it quietly. The key is consistency. And as you make this a habit, you'll begin to notice changes in the way you approach life. By practicing self-reflection, you'll gain the clarity you need to take action with purpose. You'll start to see where you're wasting time, where you're falling short, and where you're truly thriving. And with that awareness, you'll be empowered to make better choices, to live with more intention, and to create a life that aligns with your deepest values. Start today, your future self will thank you. Eliminate unproductive social comparisons. If you want to truly focus on yourself and stop wasting your time, one of the most powerful things you can do is eliminate unproductive social comparisons. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing yourself to others, especially in a world that constantly showcases everyone's highlight reel. But here's the thing, comparing yourself to others is a thief of joy, progress, and peace of mind. It's a distraction that pulls you away from your own path, your own growth, and your own goals. If you truly want to break free from this cycle, you have to start by recognizing the harm that social comparisons do to your focus and energy. The Stoics had a lot to say about the dangers of comparison. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." If your thoughts are consumed with what others are doing, how much money they're making, or how perfect their life seems to be, you're letting someone else's reality steal your inner peace. In essence, you're letting external factors dictate your internal state, and that's exactly the opposite of what Stoicism teaches us. So, let's break this down and look at how you can start eliminating these unproductive comparisons. 1. Recognize what you can control. The first step is understanding that the only person you should be comparing yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Your progress isn't about matching someone else's speed or trajectory, it's about moving forward, even if it's just by a small increment, in a way that's aligned with your own goals and values. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, said it best, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you compare yourself to others, you're automatically measuring yourself against things that you can't control, other people's lives, choices, and circumstances. These external factors will always shift, and if you base your worth on them, you'll be stuck in a never-ending cycle of dissatisfaction. Instead, focus on what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, your habits. When you shift your focus to your own growth, you start measuring success by your own standards. This is empowering because it takes the power back into your hands. 2. Shift your focus from what they have to what I can learn. One of the quickest ways to break the cycle of unproductive comparison is to stop looking at others with envy or judgment. Instead, see them as teachers. Ask yourself, what can I learn from them? When you stop comparing in a way that feels competitive or resentful, and start seeing others as sources of inspiration, your mindset shifts from scarcity to abundance. There's room for everyone to succeed. You don't need to undermine someone else's achievements to feel good about your own. Take this simple exercise. The next time you find yourself comparing your journey to someone else's, pause for a moment. Reflect on what aspects of their success resonate with you and why. Then, ask yourself, how can I apply these insights to my own journey? This reframes the entire process from self-judgment to self-improvement, and it becomes much more productive and healthy. 3. Practice gratitude for what you have. When you're constantly measuring yourself against others, it's easy to forget how far you've come and what you already have. But the Stoics remind us to focus on gratitude. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." When you're too focused on what others have, you lose sight of your own blessings. So, take time to reflect on your own progress and what you've already achieved. What are you grateful for right now? What skills, talents, or opportunities do you have that others might not? When you actively cultivate a sense of gratitude, you begin to realize that there's no need to compete with anyone else because your life is already rich with what you need to thrive. Start a simple gratitude practice. Each day, write down 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be big. They can be as simple as your health, the roof over your head, or the ability to learn something new every day. By shifting your attention to what you already have, you can stop looking outward and begin to focus on all the abundance that already surrounds you. 4. Understand the harm of false narratives. The world, especially social media, can often give us a skewed, unrealistic picture of other people's lives. Everyone is guilty of curating their reality, showing only the good, hiding the struggles, and crafting a perfect image of their success. But remember, you don't see the whole picture. When you compare yourself to someone else's highlight reel, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're comparing your behind the scenes to their perfectly edited scenes. This isn't reality, this is an illusion. Marcus Aurelius also wisely observed, "What we do now echoes in eternity." In this moment, this version of yourself that you are right now, is exactly where you need to be. Focus on what you are doing in this moment, and understand that everyone's journey is different. The only person you need to compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. 5. Take action and set your own standards. Instead of letting comparison paralyze you, take action. Decide what success looks like for you. What do you want out of life? What are your own goals and values? When you get clear about your own path and create your own standards, external comparisons lose their power. Start by setting one goal that is completely personal to you, something that reflects your values, not someone else's idea of success. Break that goal down into small, manageable steps. Every time you accomplish one of those steps, you'll feel a sense of progress. Remember, this is your journey. The Stoics believed that your focus should be on your own growth, not on what others are doing. Focus on what you're doing today to move toward your ideal self. When you make progress according to your own standards, comparison becomes irrelevant. Conclusion. Eliminating unproductive social comparisons isn't easy, but it's essential if you want to truly focus on yourself and stop wasting your time. By shifting your mindset, practicing gratitude, and defining success on your own terms, you free yourself from the chains of comparison. You stop measuring your worth by someone else's yardstick and start measuring it by the progress you make each day toward becoming your best self. As you move forward, remember, you are enough, just as you are. You don't need to be anyone else. Focus on your own growth, stay grounded in your values, and let the journey unfold at its own pace. The Stoics remind us that we can only control our own thoughts and actions. So take control of yours. The only comparison that matters is the one between who you are today and who you can become tomorrow. Maintain healthy boundaries. Maintaining healthy boundaries is one of the most powerful things you can do for your life. It's one of the key practices that will help you stop wasting time, protect your energy, and focus entirely on your own growth. In Stoic philosophy, boundaries aren't just about saying no to people or situations. They're about saying yes to yourself, your peace, your purpose, and your values. But let's be real for a second, it's not always easy. We live in a world that constantly pulls us in different directions, demanding our attention and energy. Friends, family, work, social media, everyone has an expectation, and it can feel like a never-ending game of tug-of-war. It's easy to fall into the trap of trying to please everyone, of saying yes when you know deep down you should say no. The Stoics had something to say about this, and it's as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. They believed that in order to live a life of tranquility and focus, you must first learn to set boundaries that protect your time and energy. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most well-known Stoics, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." And guess what? Your boundaries are a key part of taking back that power. So, how do you build and maintain healthy boundaries in a world that's constantly trying to push you off course? Let's dive in. Understand your limits. The first step to creating healthy boundaries is knowing your limits. When you don't have a clear understanding of where you end and others begin, it's easy to say yes to everything out of guilt, fear of rejection, or the need to be liked. But the truth is, when you stretch yourself too thin, you don't do anyone any favors. You don't help others, and you certainly don't help yourself. The Stoics knew that self-awareness was the key to maintaining inner peace. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." If you don't know what truly matters to you, your values, your goals, your health, you'll find yourself running in circles, trying to meet everyone else's expectations and losing sight of your own path. Action tip: take some time to reflect on what matters most to you. What are the non-negotiable aspects of your life, things that bring you peace, purpose, and fulfillment? Write them down. These are the things you need to protect with strong boundaries. Learn to say no. One of the hardest but most essential aspects of maintaining healthy boundaries is learning to say no. It's uncomfortable at first. You might feel guilty or fear disappointing others. But here's the truth, saying no is an act of self-respect, not selfishness. By saying no, you're saying yes to what truly aligns with your life and your purpose. The Stoics didn't see the need to be liked by everyone. They knew that trying to meet every expectation would only lead to chaos. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." If you keep letting others dictate your time, you're giving away your power. But when you say no, you take that power back. Action tip: practice saying no in small ways. When someone asks for your time, before saying yes, ask yourself if it aligns with your priorities. If it doesn't, say no kindly but firmly. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Protect your energy. Boundaries aren't just about time, they're also about protecting your mental and emotional energy. If you constantly give of yourself without replenishing your own reserves, you'll burn out. Stoicism teaches us that we can't control what others do or say, but we can control how much energy we give to them. The world will demand a lot from you. People will ask for your time, your advice, your attention. It's up to you to decide how much of yourself you're willing to give. You don't need to be available to everyone all the time. In fact, protecting your energy is essential to living a focused, purpose-driven life. Action tip: set specific times each day or week when you can recharge, whether it's through exercise, meditation, reading, or simply being alone. Guard that time fiercely. When people ask for your energy, ask yourself, does this align with my priorities? If it doesn't, it's okay to say no. Know your worth. Healthy boundaries also come from knowing your worth. When you understand the value you bring to the table, you stop allowing others to take advantage of you. This is especially true in relationships, whether personal or professional. The Stoics believed in self-respect and maintaining a sense of dignity, no matter the circumstances. Marcus Aurelius said, "You are a little soul carrying around a corpse." In other words, your time on this earth is limited, and every moment you spend is valuable. When you start to recognize this truth, you'll find it easier to draw the line between what's worth your time and energy and what isn't. Action tip: regularly remind yourself of your worth. Write down what you bring to the table, your skills, your talents, your uniqueness. When you recognize your value, you'll naturally begin setting boundaries that reflect that understanding. Practice detachment. Finally, maintaining healthy boundaries requires practicing detachment. The Stoics weren't about shutting people out or isolating themselves. They simply understood the importance of emotional detachment from outcomes and other people's opinions. You don't have to please everyone, and you don't have to let every request from others pull you off course. The more you practice detachment, the easier it becomes to maintain boundaries. You don't need to explain yourself or justify your decisions. Your life, your choices. Period. Action tip: when someone pushes against your boundaries, stay calm and composed. Remember, their reaction is not your responsibility. Stay detached from their expectations, and trust that your boundaries are there to protect your peace. Practice detachment. Finally, maintaining healthy boundaries requires practicing detachment. The Stoics weren't about shutting people out or isolating themselves. They simply understood the importance of emotional detachment from outcomes and other people's opinions. You don't have to please everyone, and you don't have to let every request from others pull you off course. The more you practice detachment, the easier it becomes to maintain boundaries. You don't need to explain yourself or justify your decisions. Your life, your choices. Period. Action tip: when someone pushes against your boundaries, stay calm and composed. Remember, their reaction is not your responsibility. Stay detached from their expectations, and trust that your boundaries are there to protect your peace. The bottom line: healthy boundaries are about prioritizing yourself, not in a selfish, narcissistic way, but in a way that honors your time, your energy, and your purpose. They allow you to show up as the best version of yourself, not a version that is constantly drained by other people's demands. As you move forward, remember the words of Epictetus: wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. You are the one who decides what's worth your time and energy. So start today, set those boundaries, protect your peace, and stop wasting time on things that don't serve you. Develop unwavering discipline. Discipline, it's not just a buzzword or a vague concept. It's the backbone of any successful life, the thing that turns dreams into reality. If you want to focus solely on yourself and stop wasting your time, you have to build an unshakable foundation of discipline. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most disciplined leaders in history, said it best: "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. The strength he spoke of isn't just mental toughness, it's the discipline to act in alignment with your values, even when the world is pulling you in different directions. Now, let's be clear, Discipline is not about rigidity or depriving yourself of what makes life enjoyable. It's about learning how to focus on what truly matters. It's about developing the ability to say no to distractions and yes to your highest priorities. It's about showing up for yourself every single day, regardless of how you feel. The Stoics knew that without discipline, life becomes chaotic. If you let every impulse, every fleeting desire, dictate your actions, you'll never get anywhere. You'll find yourself constantly reacting to the world instead of creating your own path. Discipline is your shield against that. It's the ability to stay focused on your personal growth, no matter what happens around you. Without discipline, you are at the mercy of your circumstances. With it, you are in control. So, how do you develop this kind of discipline? First, you have to embrace the discomfort. Because, let's face it, discipline isn't easy. It requires you to get out of your comfort zone and push past the natural tendency to procrastinate, to distract yourself, to avoid what's hard. This is where most people falter. They look for the easy way out, the shortcut. But shortcuts are illusions. If you want real results, you need to put in the work. You need to embrace the discomfort that comes with growth, and understand that it's all part of the process. Start by creating clear, daily habits that align with your goals. The Stoics didn't waste time on unnecessary distractions. They built their routines around the things that truly mattered: physical health, mental clarity, and virtue. Take a page out of their book, set small, achievable tasks every day that bring you closer to your vision. These tasks don't have to be monumental. In fact, small actions done consistently are more powerful than occasional bursts of effort. It's about building momentum, not perfection. Here's a simple exercise. Identify one area in your life where you need more discipline. Maybe it's with your physical health, your work, or your personal growth. Whatever it is, commit to doing one small action toward it every day, no excuses. If you want to get stronger, it could be doing 10 push-ups a day. If you want to read more, it could be setting aside 15 minutes each morning to read. The goal isn't to do everything perfectly, it's to show up consistently, day after day. That consistency is what builds discipline. And as you see progress, your confidence in your own ability will grow. Another key aspect of discipline is self-control. It's easy to give in to temptation, to give in to the things that pull you off course. But the Stoics taught that you should control your desires, not let them control you. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This means learning to say no when you need to, even when it feels uncomfortable. It means prioritizing your long-term vision over short-term gratification. When you practice discipline, you begin to develop that inner strength, the ability to resist what's in the moment for something greater down the road. But it's not just about saying no, it's also about saying yes to what's difficult. It's about cultivating the ability to sit with discomfort, knowing that it's part of the process. Whether it's resisting the urge to scroll through your phone or pushing through a tough workout, every time you act in alignment with your values, you build discipline. And discipline, over time, becomes a habit. Here's a practical way to build discipline into your daily life: set clear boundaries. Boundaries aren't just about protecting your time, they're also about protecting your energy. They allow you to focus on what truly matters. Identify areas where you tend to waste time or get distracted, and put boundaries around them. Maybe it's limiting your social media time, or setting specific hours to work on your goals. By creating clear boundaries, you're giving yourself the space to focus on the things that will move you forward. Discipline also requires patience. Progress doesn't happen overnight. You're not going to build a successful business, transform your body, or master a new skill in a day. But if you consistently show up, if you stay focused and committed, you will see results. And those results, no matter how small they seem, will motivate you to keep going. You'll realize that discipline isn't a sacrifice, it's a way of living that leads to freedom. But most importantly, remember this: discipline is an act of love toward yourself. It's about respecting your time and your energy enough to protect them from distractions. It's about committing to becoming the best version of yourself, even when it's hard. It's about choosing your long-term happiness over your short-term comfort. So, take action today. Start small. Set a goal, build a routine around it, and show up consistently. Over time, you'll realize that discipline isn't something you have to force. It becomes second nature. And when you develop unwavering discipline, you'll find that you stop wasting your time. You'll be living with purpose, with focus, and with the kind of clarity that allows you to achieve everything you set out to do. Seek continuous self-improvement. If you want to truly stop wasting your time and focus on yourself, one of the most important things you can do is seek continuous self-improvement. And let me tell you, this isn't just about trying to become better for the sake of being better. It's about growing into the best version of yourself, someone who is constantly evolving, learning, and moving forward. This is at the heart of Stoic philosophy, and it's where true personal power lies. Now, I know that self-improvement can sound like one of those buzzwords that's easy to say but hard to actually live by. But it doesn't have to be overwhelming. It's not about completely reinventing yourself overnight. It's about making small, intentional changes every day that add up over time. Just think about it: if you make one small improvement each day, over the course of a year, that's 365 ways you've grown. Imagine the progress you could make if you made it your focus. So, how do you start? First, understand that self-improvement isn't just about learning new skills or achieving external success. It's about improving your mind, your character, and your perspective on life. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, had a powerful approach to this when he wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that the obstacles in your life aren't just barriers, they are opportunities for growth. 1. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. One of the most important shifts you can make in your mindset is to stop viewing challenges as setbacks. Instead, view them as opportunities for self-improvement. Think about the last time you faced something difficult. Did you shy away from it, or did you meet it head-on? When you confront challenges with the intention of learning and growing from them, you take control of the situation. Stoicism teaches that we don't control external events, but we control how we react to them. So, when something difficult comes your way, instead of feeling defeated, ask yourself, how can I use this to improve myself? Whether it's an uncomfortable conversation, a mistake you made, or a failure you're facing, there's always something to learn. Even in the most challenging moments, you have the power to grow. 2. Develop a daily practice of reflection. If you really want to focus on yourself and continuously improve, one of the most powerful tools you can use is self-reflection. Each day, take some time to reflect on your actions, thoughts, and feelings. This doesn't have to be some long, complicated process. Just set aside 5 to 10 minutes at the end of your day to ask yourself some simple questions. What did I do well today? What could I have done better? What can I learn from today that will help me tomorrow? This practice of self-reflection allows you to become more aware of your strengths and weaknesses, your habits, and your progress. It also gives you the chance to correct course before you veer too far off track. This is the essence of continuous self-improvement. It's about small, incremental steps that add up over time. Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." By taking time each day to reflect, you ensure that you're not wasting your time or letting it slip away unnoticed. You're actively engaged in your own growth. 3. Focus on what you can control. A huge part of seeking continuous self-improvement is understanding the concept of control. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. You can control your actions, your attitude, and your mindset. So much of the frustration we experience comes from focusing on things outside our control, things like other people's opinions, the outcome of a situation, or even how the world reacts to our actions. Instead of spending time stressing over what you can't control, put your energy into what you can change. Focus on improving your skills, your mindset, and your habits. When you focus on these things, you'll notice that your sense of fulfillment and progress comes not from external validation but from internal growth. 4. Commit to lifelong learning. Self-improvement doesn't stop once you've read a book or learned a new skill. It's an ongoing process that never truly ends. The key here is to commit to being a lifelong learner. This is not just about reading a book every once in a while or attending a seminar. It's about developing a mindset where you are always open to learning, whether it's from a book, a person, an experience, or even your own mistakes. The Stoics believe that knowledge and wisdom are the ultimate pursuits. Epictetus famously said, "It's not the things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them." To continuously improve, you need to challenge your own thinking, question your beliefs, and be willing to grow. Learning should be a constant part of your life, whether you're picking up a new skill, deepening your understanding of a topic, or challenging old assumptions. Every new thing you learn is a step forward in your journey. 5. Create an actionable plan. Self-improvement doesn't happen by chance, it requires intention. Set clear, actionable goals for yourself. These goals should be specific, measurable, and aligned with your values. Once you've set your goals, break them down into smaller, manageable steps. This makes the process feel less overwhelming and gives you a clear roadmap for progress. But don't just set goals and forget about them. Create a daily or weekly routine where you can actively work on these goals. Take action, even if it's small. Whether it's reading for 30 minutes a day, practicing a skill for an hour, or meditating for 10 minutes, every bit of action counts. Over time, these small actions compound into meaningful progress. 6. Practice patience and consistency. Finally, understand that self-improvement is a long-term journey. It's not about quick fixes or overnight success. It's about consistency. It's about showing up every day, doing the work, and trusting that, over time, you'll improve. As the Stoics remind us, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Your desire to improve doesn't have to be fueled by impatience or dissatisfaction with where you are. Instead, let it be driven by a genuine desire to become better each day. Trust in the process, even when it feels slow. In time, the results will come. Seeking continuous self-improvement isn't just about striving for perfection, it's about striving for progress. Every day is an opportunity to become better, to grow, and to evolve. Focus on your own development, let go of comparison, and keep moving forward. Your best self is waiting for you. Don't let anything stand in the way of that. Every small step you take today brings you closer to the person you're meant to be. Keep going, and remember, the journey is just as important as the destination. Preserve mental and emotional energy. If you want to stop wasting your time and start focusing solely on yourself, there's one essential thing you need to do: preserve your mental and emotional energy. This is not just some vague idea, it's the cornerstone of a focused, fulfilling life. If you constantly find yourself drained, overwhelmed, or emotionally scattered, it's time to take a step back and learn how to protect your energy like the precious resource it is. In Stoic philosophy, this concept of energy, mental and emotional, was taken very seriously. The Stoics believe that you are in control of your mind, and therefore, you have the power to protect and direct your energy where it truly matters. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." And that's exactly it. The quality of your thoughts is the gateway to your mental and emotional energy. If you let your thoughts be hijacked by distractions, negativity, or external pressure, you'll never have the energy to focus on what matters most: your growth, your peace, your goals. So, how do you protect that energy? How do you make sure you aren't constantly giving it away to things that don't serve you? 1. Take control of your thoughts. The first step to preserving mental and emotional energy is to take control of your thoughts. I know it's easier said than done, but it's possible. The Stoics believe that you can train your mind to focus only on what you can control. They understood that while you can't always control what happens to you, you can always control how you respond to it. Think about it. How many times have you found yourself spiraling in frustration over something you couldn't control? Maybe it's someone else's opinion of you, or a situation that doesn't go your way. When you allow these things to consume your thoughts, you're wasting your energy. You're letting your mind run wild on things that don't matter. Action tip: start practicing the art of refocusing your mind. When you catch yourself ruminating over something that's out of your control, pause and ask yourself, is this in my power to change? If it's not, let it go. Focus instead on what you can control: your actions, your mindset, your reactions. 2. Embrace the power of saying no. Protecting your energy means being selective about where you invest your time. Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. And sometimes, that something else is your peace of mind. The Stoics were all about being intentional with their time. Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." In other words, we spend so much time and energy on unnecessary worries and obligations that we forget to direct that energy toward what truly matters. Learning to say no is one of the most empowering things you can do. It doesn't make you selfish, it makes you self-aware. Saying no to distractions, to things that drain you, or to people who don't respect your time allows you to protect your mental and emotional resources. Action tip: practice saying no with grace. Next time someone asks for your time or energy, pause before automatically saying yes. Ask yourself, does this serve my goals? Does this protect my peace? Does this align with what matters most? If the answer is no, then politely decline. Your energy is too valuable to waste on things that don't serve you. 3. Master the art of detachment. Detachment doesn't mean disengagement. It means knowing when to step back emotionally and mentally from situations, especially when they threaten your peace of mind. The Stoics were masters at this. They didn't allow the chaos of the world to shake their inner calm. They believed that while external events are beyond our control, our reactions to them are within our power. Every time you let someone else's drama or negativity consume your emotions, you're losing valuable energy. It's like giving away pieces of yourself, bit by bit. But when you practice detachment, you can step back, observe, and choose how you respond, without getting caught up in the storm. Action tip: practice detachment by creating mental space between yourself and external situations. When something triggers an emotional reaction, pause. Take a deep breath and remind yourself, I am not my emotions. I am in control of how I respond. Try to observe the situation without getting emotionally entangled in it. 4. Simplify your life. A cluttered life leads to a cluttered mind. And a cluttered mind drains your energy. The Stoics were all about simplicity. They didn't believe in accumulating things for the sake of it. They believed that material possessions, social validation, and external distractions only took away from the most important thing: mental clarity and peace. You don't need to overcomplicate your life with endless to-do lists, people-pleasing, or cluttered environments. The less you have to manage externally, the more mental and emotional space you create for the things that really matter. Action tip: look around your life and see where you can simplify. Maybe it's decluttering your physical space, cutting out unnecessary commitments, or letting go of relationships that drain you. The more you simplify, the more you protect your mental and emotional energy for the things that truly serve your well-being. 5. practice daily reflection. Preserving your energy is a proactive effort. It's not something you can just decide to do once and forget about. It's a daily practice. The Stoics understood this, which is why they made reflection a central part of their routine. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, would regularly reflect on his thoughts, actions, and emotions, ensuring that he stayed grounded and focused. Daily reflection helps you check in with yourself and see where your energy is going. Are you giving it away to things that don't matter? Are you protecting your peace, or are you letting external forces dictate your mood and mindset? Action tip: set aside a few minutes each evening to reflect on your day. How did you manage your energy? What drained you, and what energized you? Write it down and think about how you can preserve your energy better tomorrow. Regular reflection helps you stay on track and avoid wasting your most valuable resource. 6. Cultivate inner peace. Finally, to preserve your mental and emotional energy, you must cultivate inner peace. This means accepting what you cannot change and finding peace in the present moment. It's about releasing the need to control everything around you and instead focusing on controlling your thoughts and actions. When you have inner peace, you are less susceptible to the external noise that tries to drain your energy. Action tip: incorporate practices that cultivate peace into your daily life, whether it's meditation, mindfulness, deep breathing, or simply spending time in nature. The more peace you create within, the less likely you are to let external circumstances drain your energy. Conclusion: preserving your mental and emotional energy is not a one-time decision. It's a lifelong practice. But if you commit to protecting your thoughts, setting boundaries, simplifying your life, and cultivating inner peace, you'll find yourself with an abundance of energy to focus on what truly matters. Remember the Stoic wisdom: the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. So, take charge of your energy today. It's the fuel you need to build a life of purpose, clarity, and unstoppable momentum. Focus on what is within your control. There's one key idea that runs through Stoic philosophy like a steady heartbeat: focus only on what is within your control. It's a simple concept, but when you truly understand it, it can transform your entire approach to life. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, were firm believers that peace of mind, clarity, and true freedom come from directing your energy where it matters, toward the things you can influence. And the truth is, most of the stuff we get upset about, frustrated with, or consumed by is not within our control. Think about it. How much time do you spend stressing about things you can't change? The weather, other people's behavior, world events, your boss's mood, these things are out of your hands. Yet, we often waste so much energy trying to control them. Stoic philosophers teach us that this is a path to unhappiness and frustration. When you focus on what's beyond your control, you lose sight of your own power. You end up at the mercy of the world, reacting instead of acting. But here's the liberating truth: you only have control over one thing: the way you respond. That's it. The rest, the external circumstances, are all just noise. Once you embrace this, you start to understand just how much power you actually have. What's within your control? Your thoughts. Your actions. Your responses. That's where your true strength lies. And when you direct your energy there, you start to make real progress. Let's break this down. The Stoics often spoke about the concept of dichotomy of control. Epictetus, a core Stoic figure, summed it up perfectly: some things are up to us and some things are not. The things that are up to us, our judgments, our choices, our intentions, are what we need to focus on. The things that are not up to us, other people's actions, the past, external events, are better left alone. That doesn't mean you should ignore them, but it does mean you shouldn't waste time and energy wishing you could control them. There's no point in it. It's draining, and it robs you of your peace. Take a moment right now to think about where you're currently spending your energy. Are you worrying about a situation you can't control? Are you reacting to something someone said, or waiting for something to change that's beyond your influence? If so, stop. Let it go. It's not serving you. Instead, refocus your attention on what you can control. Your attitude. Your actions. Your decisions. So how do you do this? How do you start focusing on what's in your control? First, practice awareness. You can't control what you don't even see. So, take time each day to observe your thoughts and reactions. When something happens, whether it's a challenge or a simple inconvenience, ask yourself, what's within my control here? How can I respond in a way that serves me and my goals? This simple question can help you shift your focus immediately. Next, practice acceptance. Not everything is going to go your way, and that's okay. In fact, it's more than okay, it's inevitable. Things will go wrong. People will disappoint you. Events will unfold that you didn't plan for. But here's the thing, you get to decide how to respond. When you accept that you can't control everything, you stop fighting against the current of life. You stop wasting energy on things you can't change. Instead, you redirect your energy to the things you can influence. You choose your response, and in doing so, you regain control over your peace of mind. This doesn't mean you become passive. On the contrary, focusing on what's in your control is about taking bold, intentional action in the areas where you can make a difference. It's about owning your choices. What you eat, how you exercise, how you treat others, these are all within your control. Don't let the external world distract you from these critical areas of your life. They may seem small, but they're the building blocks of your future. Here's a powerful exercise you can try today. Take a piece of paper and draw a line down the middle. On one side, write out everything you're currently worried about. Everything. Your job, your relationships, the state of the world, whatever's weighing on you. On the other side, write down what you can actually do about each item. You'll quickly notice that there's a lot that's out of your control, and that's okay. Now, let go of those things. Release them. Spend your time and energy focusing on what you can influence. It'll feel incredibly freeing to realize how much unnecessary weight you've been carrying. Let's be real for a second, the world will continue to throw challenges your way. People will still behave poorly. Things will go wrong. And you can't control any of that. But what you can control is how you show up. Will you get frustrated, bitter, and reactive? Or will you choose to take a deep breath, focus on what you can do, and move forward with grace? The Stoic approach is clear. Don't waste time on what's beyond your grasp. Instead, put your focus and energy on what you can shape. Your mind. Your actions. Your vision. Those are the areas where you hold the true power to change your life. Every time you refocus on what you can control, you're moving toward your goals. Every time you release what you can't control, you're reclaiming your peace. Start now. Take a moment to reflect. What are you holding onto that you can't control? Let it go. Shift your focus back to what you can change, your mindset, your actions, and your response. By doing this, you'll stop wasting your time and start using it in ways that align with your values and your ultimate vision for your life. Keep going. The more you focus on what's in your control, the clearer and more fulfilling your path will become. Thank you for watching. Focus solely on yourself. Stop wasting your time. Stoic philosophy. Remember, your time is your most valuable resource, and by prioritizing your growth, you take control of your destiny. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay connected with Modern Stoic. Stay focused, stay intentional, and keep working on becoming the best version of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.